Good evening, everyone, and welcome. SFMF Live Sunday night. Here we go. A couple different things tonight. StreamYard for one. We are going to experiment with some stuff right now, so hang on. Enjoy the ride. Get the word out to everyone. I doubt you'll get notifications on this because it is StreamYard. A little different. As you can tell, widescreen for one, right? I see the chat is up. Let me know. Annie Benani, give me a 5x5 sound check, video check. Let me know how it's looking and how we're streaming live. Sunday night, SFMF. Welcome, everybody. God bless you all. Sound. Can I get a sound check? And a roll call, all in one. We want it all. Let's go. Lima Charlie, says Annie Benani. Carlos Diaz, SFMF2 all. What's up, Carlos? Good to see y'all. Yes, you know the lingo. Annie Benani. Lima Charlie, Tango. Tango Victor Mike. What you know about that? Again, welcome everybody. It is Sunday night. Hopefully you've had a chance to spend time with God today. Today's message in church, another good one, and it's about powering through a storm. And do you see that comment from USMC Cece? Relax, kid, Annie Benani. All right. There we go. OG, good to see you, brother. Again, StreamYard tonight. Gonna do a couple little different things. That was CC number 5. Thanks for your help, CC number 5. Why don't you come over to the camera real quick and say hello? Jordan, good evening to you, brother. Roll call. That's what we're doing right now. Roll call. If you haven't spent time with Jesus today, make sure you do. Our message today in church, another great one. It's in the series, I Believe. And today's was, I don't remember the exact phrase. Maybe Annie Benani does, but it's how you deal going through a storm. And it's easy when you're in the middle of that storm to not only talk to God, but to blame God. God, why would you do this to me? Why would you do this? Why me? Why us? Why my family? We're quick to blame him. Okay, be careful with that. And why would you do this, or why won't you stop it? Something along those lines. You know who we are, that immediately you shake your fist at God. There's a message in it. There's a lesson to be learned, and there's a message. Some kind of blessing is going to come from it. You're going to power through it, and somehow, some way, God is going to use you for it to bless maybe someone else. But how you power through that storm is everything. And again, it's funny, it falls into the series of I Believe. All right. So again, if you haven't spent time today, please do. And God bless you all. All right. Gunny East is here. Bryce Wilborg. Good to see y'all. We are on StreamYard tonight. Going to do things a little bit different, and we're going to ask for some feedback. So if a poll comes up, please take it. A couple different things that we're going to try out. We're giving everybody a couple minutes. Yes, we are starting a little late. I don't want to die myself out, but that was my fault. Busy day, but a good day. And here's how we ended off with some SFMF Live Sunday night. So good to see everyone. A couple different topics. Do I have more than one microphone going? Sound check is still good. I can hear that too as well from over there. Reaction. So those of you that know, if you know, you know, StreamYard is a little bit different. There's a couple more options that we can do utilizing StreamYard, and that's why we're gonna try it out. Some reactions, right? Producer's gonna pop up some videos, someone else's stream, some shorts, maybe. She's gonna surprise us, and that's the beauty of it. So you'll get a real time reaction to it. There's a slight echo from Annie Benani. She's saying, in what direction are we going? And we're going to ask for suggestions, right? We're going to keep this community live. That's why I hope there's some new members tonight, so we can, I love the question, what is this channel about? What do you guys do here? Love those. And it's fun to answer the question, right? And it just remotivates us that this is what we do. We're serving, we're continuing to serve. We talk to people prior to the service, while they're on active duty, and then after the service, right? 2 huge transition periods, transition into the service, and then transition out of the service. And what we don't want, the whole basis of the idea was so nobody has to learn the hard way, like most of us on this channel have, right? So that's a community of people wanting to serve others, right? Veterans serving veterans. And the beauty of all this is our 4th category is non-military. The supporters, the patriots that just want to, they want to serve as well. And that's how they do it in this channel, giving us feedback, giving us input, and just hanging out. Love it. All right, E4 Mafia up. Good to see you, E4 Mafia. Can't do it without you. We'll talk a little bit about veteran-owned businesses. What part? Veteran-owned businesses, right? You see products of veteran-owned business right behind me. Ray from Queens ordered, got his in the mail, right over this shoulder. I don't want to say right or left. That's my left shoulder? Yes. Or my left shoulder. Lake Cookie built them both. The Simplify My Friend one is the newest one, and that is ANC Metalworks, offering 10% off when you order online, or I guess, can they call you an order? When you order and mention SFMF, 10% discount right off the bat. Awesome. Custom order. That was a custom ordered one. Heavy J on the road currently right now, sorry, Major, but we'll get in front, lean in the front lean position as soon as I get off the expressways. Drive safe, brother. Don't run anybody off the road. We just started, Heavy J. No worries. We'll see you soon. And we just started taking a little bit of a roll call. Again, this is StreamYard. I don't think notifications go out. I don't know. That's hit or miss anyway. So hopefully everyone gets the word and joins us tonight. StreamYard, the producer has a little more options while she's back there. So she's going to be pretty busy, which she always is. But we're going to talk about like the topics we could be bringing up, or the options that we can totally take advantage of. Reactions to videos. What direction should we be going in? Suggestions for lives, shorts, posts. 2 posts today. If you haven't seen it, please get on the channel and check out the 2 posts. One of them is a poll. Shout outs and talking about veteran-owned businesses. Doc Holiday's here. We're getting it, Doc. Good to see you on here. Again, just starting out, kind of waiting for a couple people to join us. StreamYard. Again, anyone here now? Did you get a notification that we started? AJ said, little known fact, Taco Bell was founded by a Marine. All right, that's why it's so good. There's a couple of businesses. No, the Flying J, the truck stops, the Flying J, and then, oh, that's right now. She's heavy into it. L-O.
Loves.
Oh, Loves. That was a Marine, right? Marine lieutenant or something? Loves and Flying J, both military members.
Loves was Marine and Flying J was
Loves was a Marine and Flying J was airman?
A pilot.
Oh, pilot, Army pilot.
That's why
Flying J. You should have known that. All right, yes. Davila, good to see you. Doc Holiday, you just got it. I got the note. Oh, you got notified. You guys are getting notifications. All right. Yes, all right. I like it. Davila, what rank was your favorite during service? So, no, come take this, please. So, I've had that question often, and I think I do think about it often. And here's the thing: you always want to get promoted to the next higher rank for different reasons. More money, more influence. You have a bigger influence on job, more leadership, more responsibility. I got to believe that everyone wants to continue to get promoted all the way till you reach the top. So I can answer that question because I have been all those positions. Sergeant was by far my favorite, the very best rank in the Marine Corps, in my opinion. And here's why. I'll back it up. And a little caveat to it, I think it was probably because I was a sergeant the longest. Of all my ranks, I was a sergeant the longest. So I think that has something to do with it too. And I did a lot of cool things when I was a sergeant. First one was being a drill instructor. That was by far, that re-greened me to want to stay a Marine forever, the rest of my life. Not just after once a Marine, always a Marine. I never wanted to get out. That really re-greened me. Very hard, the hardest job I had, but the most rewarding. And then I even went to, mountain leaders courses. I went to a lot of schools as a sergeant. Was a company gunny, actually, for a short period as a sergeant. I'll touch on that in a minute. And it's you're in that position, you're a senior NCO, so you can't make those new NCO mistakes because you know better. As for corporals and newly promoted sergeants, you can still kind of make mistakes. However, you're not a staff NCO yet, which all Marines want to be a staff NCO, positive. But you still have the ability to push it a little bit because you're not a staff NCO. So you can still get away with making those mistakes, but make them as a sergeant. So when you're a staff sergeant, a staff NCO, you know what to look for, learn from your mistakes, and you can still push it even more. Now you're influencing a bigger group of Marines, military men, but as a sergeant, you just still have a little bit of latitude, right? And again, at 5.5 years as a sergeant, I think I got it down. I was ready to become a staff NCO. When I got promoted with peers on time, it was just that time in the Corps, the needs of the Marine Corps. 5.5 years was pretty average around the time that I got selected for staff NCO. No bad paperwork. Nothing kept me from getting promoted except the needs of the Corps. So it was interesting. And to this day, sergeant was my very favorite rank. I mentioned I was a company gunny as a sergeant, and I was for a short period. It was with the engineers, and you would think right away, why would they make a sergeant a company gunny, which obviously is by design a gunnery sergeant. You've seen some staff sergeants, and every now and then a master sergeant that just got promoted, he'll move out, but it's a billet for a gunnery sergeant. Here's what it was. We didn't have any gunnies in the unit at that time, but we did have a few staff sergeants. I was a senior sergeant, so soon to be a staff sergeant, we all assumed. And the 3 staff sergeants in the unit at the time, I don't want to say they weren't the most stellar, but they were critical to their job, right? And again, I was going to be a staff sergeant soon. So I think the company commander, the first sergeant, I think they kind of weighed that all into a factor. And little known fact, we'll talk about frocking later. You get frocked to the next higher position once you receive a promotion number. So once I did get that number, I wasn't supposed to be promoted 4 months later. I got frocked as a staff sergeant. You don't hear that too often. So they frocked me. I was a company gunny as a sergeant. I even put it on the sign outside the company office. Company gunnery sergeant, Sergeant Cece, right? For all the right reasons. Then I got promoted to staff sergeant, then it wasn't as big of a deal. So again, my favorite rank personally in the Marine Corps, sergeant, backbone of the Corps, era. All right, so tonight, how are we looking over there, producer? Everything good? So, it's going, catching up. StreamYard, we're doing StreamYard tonight. What we're gonna wait for our producer to do is we're gonna pop in a video and we're all gonna react to it at the same time. Facts?
see if we can.
We'll see if we can. And then we're going to ask you what you think of that. And can you tell it? Let me ask the first question. Can you tell the difference between StreamYard and regular YouTube? Yeah. Are we liking it? From what I'm looking at, it doesn't look as clear, for one. I don't know if that matters or if that's just my eyes. It is widescreen. Well, I don't know if that helps any of you. I think, remember we did I questioned everyone a long time ago, I asked everyone, what device are you watching on? And it was primarily phones. Couple laptops, but primarily phones. So how does it look on your phone is the question. 10th thumb, 17 in. Yeah, I see, it's pretty low right about this time.
Carl Green just gifted 5.
Carl Green, thank you, brother. Gifted 5 memberships.
It doesn't show on there.
Yeah, I can't see anything on the comments there. Yeah, 10 likes and 17 in. It's not our norm. Gunnar Kincaid, hello, see you, buddy.
John McJunkin's Jake is here.
Jake is here. John McJunkin. Oh, right there. This is Jake from OFK Restaurant. All right, Jake, we need an update. We haven't heard from you guys in a little while. 19 Delta. What's up, brother? Lance Corporal Haig, all present. Old Jyrene. Gunner's watching from iPhone 13. And it's a little off. All right. Tiger's here. Waiting for an update from Jake. We're praying that all is well with our buddy John McJunkin. Jake, whenever you get a chance, buddy. It's not showing. Yes, thank you, Carl. It's not showing on the comments. Even the producer said it's not showing on hers either.
Okay, let's go ahead and try this real quick.
All right, we're going to try it. Here we go. Uncle John is back home again. He is resting well. Hallelujah. Amen. And thank you, Jesus. Good to hear. Let him know we're all still here with him. We miss him. Can't wait till he's 100% back at it. Appreciate you, Jake. Thanks for letting us know. And again, we'll continue to pray for him to weather in the storm. That's what the message was in church today for me and my girls. Weather the storm. There's a purpose. God has a plan. He has a purpose behind it. There's going to be a blessing from it somehow, some way. We might not all understand any of it, but God knows what he's doing. Trust God and trust prayer. Amen. Thanks, Jake. That's a good question, Tiger. And it's an easy answer. What's your opinion on quitting? Is it ever okay? No. Now, if you're doing something illegal, immoral, unethical, yes, it's okay to quit drinking, quit smoking, quit doing drugs. Yes. So don't back me into a corner, but no, finish what you started. Your average, if you're asking a question like that, is okay to quit a sport? Is it okay to quit in school? Is it okay to quit something that you started? Absolutely 100% not. And it's not even an option. Quitting is not quitting boot camp. Nothing. All right. David Bryan, good to see you, brother. Yes, our prayers are with John. Jake says, my aunt said to tell you and everyone, thank you for all of your thoughts, concerns, and prayers. We're with you guys. We're on Team McJunkin, and we'll be here for you. Let him know we miss him and can't wait till he's back on. All of you guys. David says, if you could choose a different job in the Marine Corps, what job would you want to do? Wouldn't love to be an engineer, and then I loved switching over to the infantry community. I wasn't infantryman. I wasn't an 03 anything. I used to joke that I was 0399 when I was a first sergeant in the infantry battalion. That was awesome. So I wouldn't change anything in my MOS, and then as a first sergeant and sergeant major, where you can go to all the different MOSs. Absolutely loved it. 100% why I wanted to go that route, so I can move from different jobs. I was in a motor team maintenance company. I was in the air wing. I was in the infantry. Enjoyed having that freedom. to not stay in one MOS. As much as I love the engineers, I was ready to move on and try something new. So it wouldn't change anything with my MOS. Was that a thumbs up for a video?
Yeah, let's try.
Let's try. Here we go. Hang on, everybody. We're going to try it.
We care about.
Hold on.
Okay, I heard something, but I didn't see anything.
Have you seen this one yet?
Tiger, we'll talk about that. I can see it, but not hear it. Can you guys see it?
We care about excellence and we care about patriotism. And if you are awesome and you are a patriotic Marine, then we are going to do everything that we can to make you the most lethal fighting force the world has ever seen. And that is what we're doing every single day. No more quotas, no more ridiculous mumbo jumbo, no more diversity training. We believe the real strength and the real diversity in the United States Marine Corps is that you all come from every walk of life, come from every corner of America, and you have got the strength and the purpose to win the nation's wars, and that is what the Marine Corps is going to do, just like it's done for damn near 250 years.
All right, that was JD Vance talking. It sounded a little different, probably because my audio, but amen to that. Done with diversity training. Do you want to know how I feel about it? I'm 110% on board with our Vice President, Marine JD Vance. And we've talked about it even before what the current administration is doing with DEI, and that is getting rid of it. Best person for the job, period. And again, we talked about that in the civilian community. In the military, do you always get it right? In the lower ranks, no, because someone checks in and he's a gunnery sergeant, he's going to be in a gunnery sergeant billet somewhere. Is he or she the best fit for that job? Again, not always, but that's the Marine Corps' job to train him or her to do that job. It's up in the higher ranks when they say we need a Native American general, we need a black general, we need a female general. When they start doing that is when it goes south. So 100% on board with our vice president. Old Jerry says, my father, a Vietnam Marine, talked to me how to go in infantry, so I went com. Humped a radio with 9th Marine Scouts, best duty I ever had. I should have went 03, amen. And com guys in infantry, you're infantry, because you're not only humping everything that they're humping, you also got a radio. Time out.
Put this one more time.
Okay, you gonna play it again?
Yes, have you seen it before?
No. I saw part of
We
JD
care
Vance's
about excellence
speech
and
live,
we care
though.
about
I haven't
patriotism.
seen the
And
video.
if you are awesome and you are a patriotic Marine, then we are going to do everything that we can to make you the most lethal fighting force the world has ever seen, and that is what we're doing every single day. No more quotas, no more ridiculous mumbo jumbo, no more diversity training. We believe the real strength and the real diversity in the United States Marine Corps is that you all come from every walk of life, come from every corner of America, and you have got the strength and the purpose to win the nation's wars, and that is what the Marine Corps is going to do, just like it's done for damn near 250 years.
So he nailed it. A couple of things right off the bat. We are already diverse. Our diversity training is joining the Marine Corps. All the branches of service have people, men and women from all different walks of life. There's your diversity training. That's what he's saying. That's enough. Why did they start adding in again? And I think I told this before, decades ago, I sat into my first top secret meeting and they were handing out, they were showing us stats of, again, how many female generals, how many African American, how many black generals, how many Native American, how many Indian, all these things they were passing out. And I remember looking at that roster and there was a couple zeros and two, and that's a minority of population. If there's not as many in the Marine Corps, there's not as many Native Americans in the Marine Corps, just by Marine math, there's not going to be as many generals, sergeants, major, and master gunnery sergeant. Those are facts. So why push someone who's not ready to be in that position, no matter what color they are or gender. Didn't understand it. Didn't understand it 20 years ago. And then it got horrible the last 4 years prior to January 20. It was ridiculous. Best person for the job, period. So I'm on board, 100%. Great video. What was the video from?
JD Vance. The maker made it, or somebody put it together, but it was JD Vance's.
Yeah, when he was going around, he was at the Pentagon. No, he was in Quantico. Yeah, it was when he was in Quantico. Great speech. I had a chance to watch that. Doc says, in your experience, how does having a Marine as vice president impact the military and nation? What unique qualities do you think they bring to the role? I think it should be mandatory, first of all, at least the vice president.
That they serve or that he's a Marine?
All right, that he serves in the military. Doesn't have to be a Marine. I think that Secretary of Defense should 100% be a military member. And yeah, Marine would be better, but I think the Secretary of Defense should be mandatory for them to serve. And I used to say it about the president until the current president took over. Not as mandatory anymore. But one of them should, the vice president or the president, should have military experience. Commander in chief, they hold that office to directly affect America's security and safety. So they should have, of those three positions, one of them or 2 out of 3 at least need to have some military service. So I think it's very important, and I think the fact that not only was JD Vance in the military, I think because he was a Marine has a significant impact as well. He was a corporal, combat camera, right? Does that matter? Hell no. He's a Marine, a rifleman first. So, and I think that helped him get to where he is now, 100%. Matthew Askren, good to see you, buddy. I had a couple of really interesting conversations with Langley that have stuck with me for the last 17 years. Langley is AFRICOM CO. Again, I think that the head shed somewhere in there, man, I don't want to eat my words, because then you see a CEO of an organization who's prior service, Marine or not, officer or enlisted, and it's not going well. So the right person I'll go right back to that, the right person for the job. Old Jack Green, a Marine in the brig, in the big house. A Marine in the big house is awesome. A Marine being president in 4 years would be outstanding, especially since he's not, yes. Imagine Marine as a president of the United States. It'd be a whole lot of error. All right. Which one? 45 years ago, April 1st, 1980, I joined the Corps. Never regretted it. We didn't even have don't ask, don't tell. 1980. That's awesome. 45 years ago. I was right behind you. I'm a boot to you. Yes, David. Wow. That was before don't ask, don't tell. Remember that? That's kind of odd. It just became a meme before memes were popular. We didn't have cell phones back then, but don't ask, don't tell. That just gave Marines a reason to mess around with each other and say don't ask, don't tell. Interesting. Congratulations, David. 45 years. Awesome. All right. So now I'm going to ask you how you feel about that reaction, her showing a video. Even better that I hadn't seen it. I did see the speech. I just didn't see it put together like that. What do you think about that? Matthew says, regarding JD Vance, I thought it was crappy the way the veteran community, especially non-combat, was treating him being a combat camera during the campaign. Those are the same people. I won't make fun of them that pogues, you're just a pogue, it doesn't matter. All right, what, you're a combat camera pogue, you don't know nothing. Being a Marine is badass enough. So yes, he's a Marine, and that's all that's matter. I play the pogue game with everyone else. It's a good rivalry, but infantry, we can't do anything without the non-infantry, aka pogues. How are you going to get there? Who's going to feed you? How are you going to get ammo? How are you going to get medical treatment? So, but there was. I'm with you. Oh, he's a pogue. He's a pogue. Look at him now. Still a pogue. Helping run this country. Carl Green, 77. So over 45 years. Don't make me do the math. 45 for 6, 7, 48 years. Nothing but knowledge. Awesome. John McJunkin, Young Marine Cadet Kevin says, Sergeant Major, people shouldn't be worried if a politician has served. Instead, they should be questioning why hasn't a politician served. I like that, Cadet Kevin. Money. That's great. Again, in Cece's world, every high schooler will graduate and do 2 years of service. One day, I'll let you know when I'm running for president. Every single high school graduate, 2 years. That's it. Some will fall in love with it. Some will stay. Some who didn't think they could can, and maybe that will change someone's life. But a great question. What a great question, right? Why haven't you served? Tiger, here we go. Do quitters deserve a second chance? Again, Tiger, I know you're not trying to set me up, but again, someone who quits drinking, I mean, that's a quitter in a book. But if you quit something, I got to say you got to put age and you got to put a lot of things into it. An easy answer would be, yes, you deserve a second chance. But not if you made that conscious decision because it was too hard physically or mentally. You took the easy way out. You had multiple chances before you were allowed to quit. Did you quit on a bad note? Were you cursing people out and this sucks and you suck and I hate everything and this is not for me? Then you realized it's even harder on the other side. Then you want a second chance, and maybe not right away. Right? Again, depending on that, you took the easy way out, but of what? Right? Your football practice was too hard. The coach hates me, he makes me run a ton of laps. I quit. If I gave you a second chance as a coach, it'd be a couple years later when you grew up and realized that quitting is not an option. I won't say ever because all the things I just talked about. But when you take the easy way out of something because it's difficult, it's a problem today. That is a problem with today's youth. You're not comfortable being uncomfortable, right? Some of the things I see kids quitting, I wouldn't even dream of even trying to tell my dad football practice is hard. Yeah, it was hard. I was a little pipsqueak and I got beat up every day on the football field. I never even thought to ask him, can I quit? I know the answer. Finish this year, you find something else. You never quit while you're in the middle of something. So, again, Tiger, it's on you. If it's something that, and it is clearly something that you regret, but get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's life, man. That's life. John McDugan, President Cece just got a huge round of arrests, cheers and whistles from everybody watching here just now. I'll let you know when I put my name in the hat. I got to clear up my police record first. Just kidding. Hear him and check with my wife. My ASVAB scores and enlistment paper are still on file after 27 years, even though I was permanently denied. Wow. And I'm told I failed and I do, in fact, hate them. So your ASVAB scores and all that's still on file. How's that after 27 years? Politicians never served in the military, but I have fought. No, politician never served in the military, but I have fought in countless battles on Twitter. Yeah, yes, amen. Here we go from old Gyrene, Tiger. Hope you're reading this. If you want a second chance, you don't quit. You regrouped. What you do in the second chance tells all. Do or die. I'd rather have died than walk off the island without the title. Amen. There you go. Perfect example right there. I got to say, I'm not really a numbers guy, but I'm guessing it's close to 90 something percent of Marines wanted to quit boot camp the first couple of days. I'm one. I told my buddy who I went in on the buddy program. First question I asked him, he was a lot smarter than me. He knew a lot more about the Marine Corps. He already had a haircut going in. He was wearing Marine t-shirts. He had a Marine bumper sticking on his car. First time I got to talk to him in receiving, I was like, bro, how do I get out of here? I made a huge mistake. I don't want to be here. So luckily, he slapped me a couple of times, said, suck it up. And then I ended up doing a little better than him. So don't quit. Don't quit. You seen that sticker? Yeah, but did you die? Don't quit. And like old Jyrene says, if you get that second chance, that will tell all. Never. So I used to tell the young Marines when I was thrashing them, JRTC, when I worked in JRTC on a run, and they drop out, they fall out. It's okay to walk. No, it's never okay to walk on a run. I would have to die. That's why I tell them that do or die. The day I fall out of a run, I better be missing a limb before I fall out, or before I walk on a run, before I fall out of a hike. I have to be near death, right? Or pass out where I'm unconscious and don't know what I'm doing anymore. And that's the thought process. That's a mindset that there's no way in hell I'll quit anything I do, no matter how hard it is. Mindset. So no, Tiger, hope you get that second chance, and I hope you do it right. Never quit or give up. Part of the senior drill instructor's speech in boot camp. Never quit or give up. We cannot train you or help you become a Marine if you're not willing to give your very best. Period. That's all anybody wants from you in any boot camp, any organization, any military branch, any office space, right? When you get out, they just want you to do your very best. Right? Good teachers will tell you that. Man, I think I failed the test. Did you do your very best? Now they know how to work with you. If you quit, they don't know how to work with you. That's you. All right. What are you thinking? Are you looking for another video? I think I did ask if everyone liked that, and should we do another one? Oh, Jyrene says, I still got my father's letter when I was in boots saying the same thing. He probably got a letter from his father as part of the passage, right? And Kimi Cece #1 is not on right now. She's somewhere else, but I tell this story to young boys. She wanted to quit soccer at one point. You remember what year that was, producer? Coach, she didn't get along with her coach at all. Was it high school? Had been playing soccer her whole life. She started early. When the first time she asked her, she was like 3, and said, can I play that? And I was like, it's soccer. You don't even know. I didn't know much about soccer. I tried it in high school one year. I was a football player. I had no business being on the soccer field. I didn't know enough about soccer to kind of guide her. I said, do you even know what they do in soccer? She's like, I don't know. You kick that ball into that net. I was like, yeah, nailed it. You got it. Let's try it. And she was good. She was good. She always did well. She kicked the ball in the net. Huh? Yeah, I mean, better than good. I mean, even at age 4. So good when we were in Okinawa. She was the best on her high school team. They travel around a little bit, play other high school teams. In the off season, which there is no off season in Okinawa, the weather's soccer weather year round. I would have her play on the boys team, not just the boys team, the men, the intramural sports for the bases. So she was playing 6-on-6. She was playing in games with men, just made her better, right, and tougher. She was still my little girl, and there was men, and I'm thinking they probably pulled up from maybe elbowing, but they didn't pull up on any skill, and that just made her even better. Got to high school in the mainland, and it was a little different. And I remember, again, she didn't get along with her coach, and her coach was you know what? I didn't get along with her coach either. She was mean. And I think she asked us, didn't she ask if she can quit? And of course, the answer is no. Then I tell the kids I was talking to, what if we had let her quit, because later finished high school, got a full ride scholarship to play soccer in college. Now she still works for Nike. She's hugely successful because she didn't quit. Right? Imagine, and who knows? We can't look into the future, but became an awesome individual because she never quit. So, Tiger, if you're still there, lesson learned. Is there a Marine Corps base in Okinawa? Yes, there is. Strike first. There's a few, about 5, all the way through Okinawa and mainland Japan. Okinawa is amazing, an amazing duty station. Marines, soon to be Marines. And Okinawa has all the branches of service over there. So if you can get to 2 places I highly recommend, Okinawa and Hawaii. California, soon, once they get their stuff together. But East Coast too. I've been on Camp Lejeune many times, but I was never stationed there. But I think I would enjoy it. Good to hear, Tiger. Thanks for being here. All right. So that was a yes on the reaction. Producer, are you reading the comments? You want to do a poll? Or pop another one up. Let's go. Let's see. I'm ready. Don't forget, while she's pulling that up, veteran-owned businesses, support them. You're looking at products. Ray got a product from it, similar to the one over this shoulder. Is that the right one? Yeah. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Oh, dang it. He made them both. That's the one that Ray just got. Awesome products. Awesome Marine. Veteran-owned business. Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine. All right. Doc Holiday, I can see it now. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, and Semper Fi. Awesome. That's not it. I think that's the same video. We'll hit McJunkin's crowd. Jake says, Cadet Stevens asks, sir, our adult instructors need me to stay within height and weight standards, but my football coach says for me to bulk up big. What do I do? Great. That's a great, well, unfortunately not for you. So it depends on what year you are. If you're a senior, I got to say that's a tough call, but you're not going to play football the rest of your life if you're joining the Marine Corps. So look at it that way. I was the same way. Even when I played football in the Marine Corps, I wanted to bulk up for all the right reasons, but I had to stay within height and weight standards. So which one's going to be the rest of your life? Which one is going to be your career? You have to stay within height and weight standards, or you're not going to be able to enlist, right? Then they're going to make you wait. So football is important. Trust me, I got many stories where I put football over everything else. A regret. I wish I wouldn't have in some of those instances. So which one is your future, right? Are you the next NFL linebacker, or you must be a lineman if they want you to bulk up even more? The Marine Corps is your future. The Marine Corps is your career. The Marine Corps is going to be your life. So stay, as long as you can maintain it, you can control it, beef up as much as you can, but don't go over height and weight standards, my personal opinion. Chicken and rice right there, Doc, eat chicken and rice. You can muscle up, right? You must be a lineman, actually. Must be a lineman. They just want you to beef up. Muscle, work on the muscle, okay? Chicken and rice, watch the carbs, and just get more muscle. Try that. Great question, though, and that is a dilemma. And I kind of battled it my whole career because all I want to do is beef up all the time. But then a board comes up or a school I got to go to, and I got to make sure, or your annual PFT. Now it's a biannual PFT CFT. So it's harder to maintain that height and weight. We even played on our all-Marine team. We played at the Los Angeles Police Department where they don't have height and weight standards. So they definitely out-bulked us, but we beat them because we're Marines and we had more stamina. All right.
No, sir. Then wipe that.
All right, here we go. Another video. Right there, Adam E says, bulk up to your max and then maintain. All right, here we go. Who is that guy? No. Is that a young JD Vance? Is that Jared?
Disgusting grin off your face.
Sir, yes.
Well, any f***ing time, sweetheart.
Sir, I'm trying, sir.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. The most unintentionally hilarious thing that happens in the political and cultural landscape is when low testosterone, high
Benny pretty funny.
beta males who are less.
Can I roll? Can I roll? That'd be funny. Cadet Steven says he is
sir,
a
no,
DB.
sir.
Then wipe that
again.
disgusting grin off your
And he
face.
is in
Sir,
his
yes,
senior
sir.
year.
Well, any f***ing time, sweetheart.
This is going to be mostly beeps anyway. If you've seen the movie, if you know, you know. Full Metal Jacket, the first half of boot camp with Gunnery Sergeant Hartman is amazing. And I highly recommend any of you thinking about going to the Marine Corps, watch that movie. There's supposed to have been filmed like in the 80s. So, of course, boot camp is different now, but it's pretty dang accurate. So definitely watch it. Okay, again, McJuggins, Cadet Stevens he's a defensive back, so he needs some muscle, and he's in his senior year. I'll go with, I think that's going to get to your max, and then maintain that and stick with it. Don't go over your max. The Marine Corps is going to be your future. Carrie Ann Marie Potts, all right. Carl Green, super sticker. Awesome, thank you, Carl. That's cool, a little detour ahead. Can everyone see what I can see? That is cool. Thank you, Carl. Awesome. Uh-oh, look who's here. Lay Cookie.
You see Carrie and Marie?
And Carrie Ann Marie Potts is here. Good to see you. You don't have to watch our catch up later. Sorry for being late, but still slaving on products. Keep working. Lay Cookie, throwing a couple burpees every now and then. Awesome. Good to see you. We talked about you quite a bit already. I'm glad you made it. It is Sunday night. It's Sunday still, yeah. Matthew Aston used to lose my giants and my gains in muscles every time I went into the field. Absolutely. Even in combat, you lose that because you're moving 3 times as much. So maintaining size in the field is pretty tough. I got to tell you that one of my deployments, we must have built at least 8 or 9 what do we call them? You know, like the Flintstone gyms where we're lifting tires and rolls of barbed wire. We just made anything. We made weights out of anything we possibly could, blown up tank parts, and we did work out quite a bit. And that was a deployment. I think I was a sergeant major, and I wrote to a couple of protein companies. I think I told you C4. I wrote to them, and they would send protein powder and pre-workout. And a lot of Marines got pretty big in between patrols working out. But in the field is a little tougher. Old Jyrene, Full Metal Jacket, in his opinion, the DI with Jack Webb were the most accurate movies of boot. I'm with you, Old Jyrene. The DI, that's an old movie and it's very hard to find with Jack Webb. Very accurate, and Full Metal Jacket, too accurate. Carrie Ann Marie says, what's changed that looks different? Carrie Ann Marie, we're on StreamYard. It is a little different. The producer has more options behind the scenes, so we're checking that out. And at the end of it, we're going to ask throughout, but we want to know what you think of it. The look is different. It's sideways now, but she has options. We're trying to do reactions to videos live. So we're trying it out. Big O in the hizzy. What's up, Big O? Good to see you. All right, we already got a thumbs up from Carrie Ann Marie. She likes it. We're trying it out. We'll let you know, or you'll let us know. Big O, what's a good word? Happy Sunday to all of you just joining us. Nale's in the house. What's up, O? We're going to try one more time. Another video. We watched one earlier, JD Vance, our Vice President of the United States and Marine era. Good video. He's talking about DEI. Talked about a lot of things. If you didn't see that speech when he was in Quantico, it was very good. But he talked about, again, that we're going to promote and put people in positions based on skill and merit. Imagine that. All right, I'm trying it again.
Well, on
It says, what is it? Do you know why it's not working?
No, I don't know if it's.
Papa Smurf, the OG. Happy Sunday, SgtMaj to you and your beautiful family. Thanks to all who have served and are currently serving. God bless America. Much love. New York City. Hurrah. Thanks,
sir,
brother.
no, sir. Then wipe that disgusting grin off your face. Sir, yes, sir. Well, on any time, sweetheart. Sir, I'm trying, sir. Now lean forward and choke yourself.
It's going. It's sticky, choppy, in and out. Big O, what are you trying to say? I do that in the gym. I heard it, but then it stopped. It was choppy. It wasn't smooth. Man, the Benny Show. If you've never seen
What's
the
up,
Benny
guys? It's
Show,
Benny. The most unintentionally hilarious thing that happens with
Pretty
regular cultural landscape is when low testosterone,
Carl
high
Green.
estrogen.
I'm not running yet. Presidential campaign. But here's my campaign team. Everybody on this channel right here.
Okay, we're gonna go to play even though you can't hear it.
Okay.
I want your reaction on it.
As I'll show you how it's done, Tim. Real life Elmer Fudd, our executive producer ALX, who's a good
hear
shot,
it.
by the way. Gone pheasant.
Oh, I want to listen.
And the official Trump War Room account.
I can hear
that
something.
shows Tim Walz with it.
And now it's blocked by the comments. Okay. New SEAL movie coming out on the 11th. Warfare.
Oh, it's a classic.
All right.
Anyway, the point
Okay.
is that fake mask. See if you.
Okay. Yeah, it's in
It's a
and out. I'm
classic.
sorry.
Anyway, the point is that
Can you play one more time?
fake masculinity.
Okay, how do you hear it? Because I can't hear it. Is it on your headphones?
It's in my earbud, on and off. I can't hear the whole thing all the way through.
It shouldn't be on your headphones. I
Oh.
can't hear it at all.
Yeah, I can. It keeps going in and out.
And beta males versus
Beta males
alpha males.
Versus alpha
Oh,
males.
how can you hear it?
Again, through the same earbud.
Gentlemen, Semper Fi, says JD Vance, visiting the Marine base in Quantico, Virginia.
I can hear it.
Anything, so we would appreciate
Oh,
it.
nobody else can hear anything. Okay. Well, So,
JD Vance himself is a
Eddie Vance
Marine,
himself
and
is a Marine. He went to visit Quantico.
Can you see the thing on his hat?
No, I can't see anything because the comments are right over the video. That's what I'm looking at. Be right back. Carrie Ann Marie, we're going to figure this out by the time you get back. I'm going to grab some.
She can hear it.
Who said they can hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Terry says we can hear it.
Oh,
I can hear it. Everyone can hear it. It's just you that can't hear it.
oh, my bad.
Let me answer this one from Delayed Enlistee. So we got a Depper. Arnold asks, Sergeant Major, so I was informed that I would not be able to qualify for the career option I was hoping for due to my color blindness. Should I seek a waiver? That's going to be a tough waiver to get. I don't know what your career path was. If it's a pilot or EOD, you don't want a waiver because you just EOD, you don't want to cut the wrong color wire. I don't know what other MOSs require that, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to ask. But don't get your hopes up on getting a waiver for that. I think that's a pretty serious one that you are gonna not want to be in that situation where you can't tell the color of a wire or if it has to do anything with aircraft or aircraft maintenance. I wouldn't. 03, baby. All right, you got it. Big O says too much going on.
Shot
Jennifer
pew
thinks
pews.
I'm watching two different shows.
Along with howitzers
We'll have her watch one
on the
and you watch
base.
the other.
Freaking awesome. See if you
Okay,
can
it's going.
spot the difference
Yes, I did see
here
you
in
see
how
on
JD
JD Vance's
Vance
helmet,
reacts
it says,
when eating with the troops
"The Corporal
and
of Marines."
Joe Biden.
All right, it's JD Vance. Going to Marine. Looks like it's the South Hall. Going in, taking his jacket off. I can't see what it says on his hat. If anyone can, please put it up on the screen. That's the difference with the Marine and other Marines. Yeah, continue wearing the hiding doors, right? So you feel lock them on. So take that cover off. What does it say? Placing the towel outdoors, even if you're outdoors, you have to cover on. But once you eat or you're doing furniture, you put the cover on.
The ability
But that's easy
to
to
speak.
just to sit down and talk stories with
They
Marines.
appreciated that. They certainly appreciated it when.
It's that easy. You see USMC Cece, sounds like we're underwater. Video audio is clear though. But they can't hear me when the video's playing.
Hurrah, Marines! How we doing?
It's good to have him back, man. Good to have him back. JD Vance firing downrange. Actually got into it.
Get some. Can you hear my lips? Getting some.
Howitzer action. There you go.
My friends.
Oh. All right. Thanks for the feedback again. So what I gathered, and I'm sure she has seen or heard the same, you can't hear me when the video's playing. Okay. I'll just keep my trap shut or we'll figure it out. But what great stuff from JD Vance. Karen Marie, diabetes, hang tough. You got this. Better each day is what I aim for. There you go. Get better every day. Bloody diabetes. And you went to get some bloody fruit. I thought you were getting some fruit that was bloody, but I forgot you're from the UK and you're going to get some bloody fruit. That's just regular fruit for us. The lady, Lacey Arnold, was looking to become an MP in the Marine Corps. Again, somebody else said it, minimum requirements you can't waive, right? So, I still always say there's a waiver for everything. So if it's MPs that won't allow you, I would ask for a waiver to be an MP. They may put you somewhere specific in the MP world. Maybe. I'd still put in the waiver. I'd put in the waiver, but again, don't be upset if it doesn't go through and then pick another MOS field. Again, infantry, era. Muffled, underwater, same thing. Someone else said muffled. All right, so we're still working on that. Again, appreciate the feedback from the producer. Is working on it. David Bryant, got to go. Still recovering from COVID. Wow. God bless the SFMF family. Everyone, please pray for John. And we'll pray for you too, brother David. Hang tough. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for being here. Thanks for always being a huge supporter. We're praying for you and John and crew. Good to see you. USMC Cece wanted to be an MP, but she was too short. I don't think the MP's MOS accepts waivers. Facts, right? So some just can't be waived, right? Those requirements for that specific MOS, tattoos and things like that constantly change. Those are the waivers that you're asking for. Age waivers. So tough, but again, you might have to pick another MOS. Try changing stream speed lower on video. You see that from Carl? Carrie Ann Marie. Sorry, I had to get some fruit blood. Oh, yes. Okay. Here we go. Try again. Kate, we're going to try again.
No, I'm not.
Oh, I thought you said time out.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. All right. So put in there, the producer will see it, what we have going on right now. Again, StreamYard is new and adding the videos in and doing reactions live. So let us know. Please let us know the entire show tonight. Already about an hour in. Like and subscribe. Hit the like button if you haven't. We've done StreamYard in the past and it is a little different. The crowd seems to be smaller when we go StreamYard. A lot of you did get notifications, which is good to know. So at least you're still getting the notifications, those of you that do, because we all don't. Back to JD Vance real quick. We'll touch on that a little bit, and we're going to move into a little bit of leadership with that same topic. again, depending on where you get your news from or your information. I don't watch news, most of the news feeds. I am guilty of watching Fox, but I don't turn Fox News on. I try to find the videos that relate to things that I do want to hear about. And then still know that today's media, they're giving you their own personal agenda.
Yeah, but you just want confirmation bias if you're just looking for news that you want.
Yeah, I guess so. It's just, that's what you're saying. That's say it again. Biased.
Confirmation bias. You're looking for the biased news.
Yeah,
It confirms your bias.
I guess so. So just, I watch the news that I know I think is not going to tell lies. It's how to put it. And you hear enough about the media is full of BS. Stop watching. And all the media channels are going down. CNN, they talk about what they want to talk about, what they want you to listen to. So Fox is always obviously with them in that same group. They fall into the same pool. So I try to watch shows who people I do trust. That's a little biased also because I watch people like the Hodge twins, Officer Tatum, Jameson's travels. His is pretty good. He's a Marine, right? So the Hodge twins, they were Marines. Officer Tatum was a cop. So I don't know, maybe I like listening to other alpha males who are very opinionated, but I like their opinions. So yes, I get you. Producer just called me out. I'm not going to watch no beta males. Beta. I want to watch men. And I like watching the president's press secretary. I watch it. It seems like they're just, again, facts that they're giving out. So it is biased. I'll get off that subject right there. Just be careful with what you watch and what you start believing. And I guess shop around on YouTube. You see, that's my only social media is YouTube. I'm a fan of it. But you have to decipher what's the truth and what's not. I like the entire cabinet right now, though, because it seems like transparency is number one. Common sense is now number one. If all of a sudden USA, America, is saving billions, if not trillions of dollars, you got to kind of think we're going in the right direction. All right. Transferring that or translating that into leadership. And, yes, we do talk about leadership quite a lot on here. This is a leadership type channel, and the problems you get into prior to serving, while you're on active duty, and after are all leadership experiences. And as much as it can be painful, you learn as much from bad leadership as you do from good leadership. In fact, you probably learn more from bad leadership than you do from good leadership, but that's hard to take at times. It's hard to accept that as a lesson, right? You just going to be angry and pissed off because of poor leadership. But how many lessons can you learn from bad leadership, right? And you got to be saying in your head, if I was in charge, right? Have you ever said that throughout your career? Even our high schoolers, have you ever said that? Man, if I was the teacher, well, now I want to grow up and be a teacher so I can do it the right way. And is it the right way or is it your way? Back to common sense, a common sense approach on most things. If you can produce something that doesn't only benefit you, you're probably doing the right thing, right? If what you're getting ready to do or a change you're going to make or a policy you're going to make directly benefits you, probably not the right thing. So it's yes, in boot camp, they strip you down, they strip the I out of you and make it a we. That needs to carry, you need to carry that the rest of your life, right? Life ain't easy, man. Life is tough. That's why I tell high schoolers, our own high schoolers, high school is easy. The easiest thing you're going to do in life is go to school. It's when you get out and become an adult. Adulting sucks at times, unless you do it right. Right? Life is tough. Who said that? John Wayne. Life is tough. Tougher when you're stupid. So make the right decisions. Excuse me. Carl Green, isn't that another one? $10 for the presidential campaign. Why? You're going to push me into this, and next thing you know, you're going to be my campaign managers, all of you. So the whole premise of this entire thing is that leadership never stops. You used to always like go to a group of privates or PFCs. Everyone's the exact same rank, and ask them things like, "All right, who are the leaders here?" And they kind of look around, and one or two, the salty PFC, right? The salty Lance Corporal, been in 4 years. They like to raise their hand, but the ones that don't, that's when I get, "Man, you're all leaders. Put your hands down." It's a trick question. Everyone's a leader. Everyone has leadership skills and abilities. Everyone, in my opinion, is born with leadership. It's how you present it later on in life or throughout your life. It's who mentors you and pulls that leadership out of you so you can employ it to be a better person, to make a better mission, to success, right? At the end of the day, you want mission success. Mission accomplishment is the ultimate goal. So throughout your career and then into a civilian community is where it gets really tough. What happened to that leader's leadership? He or she had it grown up. He or she had it grown up, or they wouldn't have those opportunities and become a leader. Now, where did they go? Excuse me. Doc Holliday supports the Cece campaign. I better watch out. Start making my list of changes I need to make. All right. Thanks, Doc. Appreciate you, brother. Again, I just have to decide who the campaign manager is. Funny. It is funny. I'm laughing because, again, I can have a list. In fact, I have about 4 years worth of after actions that I could probably use anywhere I go. Hopefully not. That's going to be my huckleberry. All right. Now, you guys are awesome. Appreciate you. And look at Doc's icon. Proud Marine Corps dad. Era. So I have, my daughter has gotten me a Proud Marine Dad shirt. I even have a Proud Marine Dad sticker. We have Proud Marine parents. But here's my insecurity. If I wear a Proud Marine Dad shirt, they're not going to know I'm a Marine. And you've heard that, the biggest compliment you can receive in the world? If someone recognizes you as a Marine when you're in civilian clothing. Era. You got to be a Marine, right? You're a Marine? Happened to me one time on an airplane. More than one time. It happened one time. I was on an airplane. I told this story before, so I'll tell it a different part of it. I got in, got my seat. I was traveling, going to PDSS to, I don't know, foreign country, pre-deployment, recon PDSS site survey, pre-deployment site survey, PDSS. Traveling with a couple sergeants, major, I think I was the first sergeant. No, I was a sergeant major, but like the regimental sergeant major, regimental commander, bunch of officers, 5 or 6 of us, my battalion commander. We got on a plane and we're all spread out because that's how the government does it. The cheapest seats, big old plane. We were going to a 19-hour flight overseas. We get on and I find my seat, put my bag up, take my shoes off, comfortable. I actually have a pretty good seat. It's like right in front of the flight attendant station, so nothing in front of me. So I had my legs stretched out. I was like, I'm good. No seat in front of me, so my stuff was up above. But I was like, this will work. I could sit here for 19 hours. Not really. I'd be popping up and down. I had nobody aisle. There's only 2 there and 3 behind me. So again, good seat. And the flight attendant kept walking by back and forth. And where's civvies? And close to takeoff, she stops this time and says, "You're a Marine." I said, well, yes, ma'am. Like, felt motivated humbled that she recognized me to be a Marine. Take a shot in the dark, I guess. I didn't have a Marine shirt on, no, and say I'm a U.S. Marine. I didn't remember what I was wearing, but civilian clothes. And that's when she said, come with me, get your stuff, put your shoes on, come with me. And we went up that spiral staircase to the real first class. Yes, that was, never experienced it again, but I had my own cubicle, the chair laid out to a complete bed, 2 screens, one for games, one for TV, and the guy had a bathrobe and slippers when I walked out. Good evening, sir.
The one that all the other guys didn't.
Yes. So I was traveling with all those other staff guys, right? Colonels and sergeants, majors, and just a bunch of officers. So we're getting ready to take off. And again, I'm drinking champagne and glassware, and she's taking my order for the next couple meals and have my slippers on, right? The butler handed me, already here's some gifts for when you leave. I'll put them right here. Don't forget when you leave, a t-shirt. I don't know what it was.
That little hygiene.
That little hygiene, yeah, that's what it was, a whole hygiene pack that I got to take with me. I'm telling you, it was unbelievable. And at one point I stopped and said, hey, because she was, still doing her business up there. She's like, I said, I'm traveling with some friends. Call them, they weren't friends, they were my colleagues. I was the most junior man on the plane. So I'm traveling with some friends. Do you think, she's like, oh, no. You're the only one that can come up here. I'm not bringing anyone else up here. I said, no, I don't want them up here. I just want them to know that I am up here. Can you tell them that? She's like, well, probably not. You'll have to tell them later. I said, how about when we land? Will they see me coming down the stair? I want them to watch me come. She's like, oh, no. You guys get up. And there's only like 6 of us up there. There's probably only 8 pods. You guys will get off much before all of them and a different exit. I was like, as cool as that is, I was like, really want them to see me get out, getting a manicure and a pedicure at the time. It was amazing. But back to the original story. You look like a Marine. Do you look like a Marine when you're off duty? Like JD Vance, this is all based around JD Vance as a Marine, going to a Marine chow hall and just being able to sit down and chill and have a conversation with other Marines, because that's that thing that Marines have, no matter who you are, where you are, anytime you run into another Marine. The grocery store, you see the lanyard or the t-shirt or the hat, the retiree, ERA, Semper Fi Marine, or best friends. I mean, that's just how it is. The services, I'm sure, have it as well. Something different, I'm positive it's different with Marines. And you sit down and have lunch with a Marine and you have similar experiences that you can just talk about. Pretty motivating. All right. And I think that's going to be, already is, part of JD Vance's success, and it's just going to continue. All right, producer, we have another video. Too choppy. We'll work on it. All right. Oh, yeah, I didn't tell that part of the story. So for the record, you had him on a separate flight. It might have been TMO that put me. So yes, it was, because was it to Okinawa?
And they changed the flight up at the last minute.
Yes. So producer was going with me. We were on the same flight, but they changed her last minute. Right? When we came back together,
They changed you guys last minute.
they changed us.
They told me it was going to be X.
Yeah.
So I took that flight, but then you guys.
Had she been on my flight, I would have said, no, man, yes, I'm a Marine, but could you please take my wife up there and give her the experience instead? I would have gladly given my seat for you to enjoy that experience. Yes. But yes, so we flew at the same time, just on different airplanes. Thanks, TMO. Here we go from Jake and the John McJunkin team. Delayed enlistee Rob. We got another Depper, so he's going out soon. Do you think the Marine Corps might foot the bill for me to fly out to boot camp on a jet in first class, sir? No, absolutely not. You're gonna, And this is dating myself, some of you older gentlemen on this channel right now. I remember we used to fly, what airline was it? Southwest was a lot, but there was another one. Just flying anywhere, TAD to duty stations. I just remember as a young Marine always being in the back of the plane in the smoking section. Yes, you used to be able to smoke. I don't remember. I don't know why I thought it was Southwest. And wasn't it World Airs? Is World Air still around? Yeah. Well, they have civilian flights too. I don't know. Whatever airline it was, we got in very rarely together. You didn't, I mean, it was just a random seats, but I don't know how many times all the way in the back of the airplane in the smoking section. And so we traveled in Alphas. Remember those days. So by the time you got off the plane, you're sick. I wasn't a smoker. I guess if you're a smoker, maybe you didn't care about it as much. Whole uniform smelled like smoke, and you had been back there, especially to Japan. I think the whole plane smoked on those trips. Continental. I flew out to Hollywood on Continental. Right? Smoking on a plane, you are old. Yes, Carrie and Marie. Yes, we are. There's some other ones on there. Yes. Isn't that crazy just to imagine? And the smoking section was just, I mean, it was non-smoking all the way up to row whatever. And then the very next row, smoking. Ashtrays in your armrest. So they're smoking away on the whole plane. So, and where does it go? The air filter is going to filter all that air, or there's an invisible barrier keeping the smoke from going to the back. No, or vice versa. Yes, smoking in the back, non-smoking up front. Horrible. And in the bathrooms, you could even smoke in the bathroom. How long are you going to be in there that you need to smoke a cigarette? Do your business and get out, because then it stays in that little tiny room that much longer. Like, you ever walk into a porta-john when someone was in there smoking? Just as bad. Sorry to all you smokers out there. You don't want to hear about my porta-john visits? I'm late. Ironically, I was smoking. USMC fan went out for a smoke break. You didn't go in a porta-john and stink it up, did you? You can smoke anywhere.
Oh, wow, that's huge.
Once, 1C3. What am I missing? Guns. There we go. All right. Another benefit to StreamYard right there. You see that message she just put up there. Doc says, do you think the Corps should provide flights for reservists who have to travel long distances to San Diego for drill weekends? That's a great question, Doc, and a great subject, because I know they don't. Now, your reserve station is closest to your quarters where you live. I do know that I think they try their very best to do that. And it depends on your MOS. So if there's a reserve station right by your house, but they don't rate an 0311 corporal, then you're driving to the nearest infantry reserve station. And it could be a couple of days away. When USMC Cece was doing it, wasn't it like it was a couple of days, 20-hour drive or something? It was far away. So should the Marine Corps pay for that flight? That's interesting. Or do they reimburse you at all? Oh, here we go. You can get travel reimbursements up to a certain amount each month for drill. So they give you, even if you fly, USMC Cece, I guess it doesn't matter. They don't care how you get there. You turn in your travel voucher, what they call it. So they probably provide up to a certain amount. And if you exceed it, that's your own dime. I can see that, and I do agree with that. Doc says that folks who drive from Arizona to San Diego once a month, a couple hours, depending on where in Arizona. I think that's pretty legit. I don't think that's too far, personally. And have them fill out a travel voucher, travel reimbursement. Even the VA does that now. I remember from my house to the VA wasn't that far. It was like but they would reimburse gas money in the VA after I got out. So I think they do their best to try to compensate you and take care of you, if you will. But you got to ask. You got to know to ask. That's something you don't know if you don't know. USMC Cece says, yes, even if you fly. And when I say they recently increased it to something crazy like $500. All right. So yes, doc, have them check into it. Right. And even with the VA travel reimbursement, I didn't know about that till about a year. And I just happened to find out. I knew one of the guys that worked at the counter kind of checked people in. And one day I was just shooting the breeze, talking story with them. And somebody else came up and he didn't want to interrupt us, but my guy recognized them and said, hey, Bill, come on in. Oh, you're just turning in your travel reimbursement. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take care of it for you. And when he left, I said, travel reimbursement? Where'd he come from? This is Hawaii. He's like, well, he came from town and it's only a couple dollars, but he gets reimbursed every single time. I was like, can I do that? He said, absolutely. Every time after your visit, you just check in and get it signed off. They file it away, and I would see $1.95, $1.85, whatever it was for that visit. So you got to ask. We have Marines in Texas that travel from Arizona for drill. Now that's a distance, right? It's like 20 hours. So there you go. Put in for it. Right? Back to the waiver thing. The answer is always going to be no if you never ask. So find out. USMC vet flew Air National Guard on a jump seat from Southwest Florida to Tallahassee or Mobile, Alabama. And did you get reimbursed? Flying in the jump seat, I mean, it's still a seat. However they can get you there. All right. It's good information and a great question. Those you reservists out there, or any of you, any kind of travel you do, if it's for the government, right, they should be reimbursing you. All right, here we go. Roll call, sound off. Tell us where you're watching from and who we missing. We haven't seen, who haven't we seen in a little while? Jared, Menachem, Chala. Anybody heard from Chala? Salty, where's Salty been? A couple of you. Leg Cookie works for a multi-million-dollar company, and unless you're a corporate officer when you fly to Germany for training, it's flying coach. Maybe Doge will take care of that, Leg Cookie. Maybe that'll be part of the Joe fix. Get who? There's Randall. Boise, of course. Oh, all right. Oh, good. USMC vet is free because, yeah, you were in the jump seat. Nebraska, Davila, Texas, Cherry Blossom headquarters. I'm in Lehigh Acres. Am I saying that right? Lehigh, Boise, yes. Lehigh, Nebraska, Davila. Checking in from work. What's up, Bryce? I'm going to hit that question in a minute, Jake. That's a great question about embassy guard or fly on Marine One. We'll talk about that in a minute. See where everyone's coming in from. Manhattan, New York City, Papa Smurf, Chicago. There's Stacking. What's up, brother? All over. That's the cool thing about this channel too. And we have our check analytics. We have a couple from the UK and a couple from Canada, eh?
Ellie's watching from Hawaii. Shout her out. She's at work.
Ellie is watching from Hawaii. Where is she? Is she tell you she better comment right now. Ellie is CC number 2. She'll be on the show. So we're missing 2, 5, and the producer. Those 2 need to get on this camera sooner or later. We'll see who does it first. 2, 5, or producer. Need to take a poll on that. Who's going to be the first one? Who's going to be the first one on? Let's go, Els. LA. Waiting on you. When will we see her again? Next time we see her, you're coming on. Better. Elon Musk is checking in from Area 51. All right, Doc says, what advice would you give to a reserve Marine who feels disconnected from the family because they are in the reserves? So a reservist that feels disconnected from the Marine family. USMC Cece, chime in on this one from the reserve side of the house. And my only experience until now with the reservists was when I was at the Staff and SEAL Academy. I was an instructor in Okinawa. By this time, I was working at the career course, so staff sergeants. I was a staff sergeant. No, I was a gunny by then. So I was a gunnery sergeant teaching the career course, E6s, staff sergeants. And they had sent us to Missouri, Camp Crowder, Missouri, to teach the reservists their PME. We did a sergeant's course, a career course, and an advanced course. Those courses are normally 2 months long. We are teaching each one in 2 weeks. So I had a classroom full of reserve sergeants, about 50 of them. It was a pretty big plan. It was more than that. We'll just say 50 for the ease of numbers. So 50 reserve sergeants, my first time kind of dealing with them. First thing I noticed right off the bat was some of them just awesome Marines. You would never be able to tell the difference. Already came in with their fresh haircuts. The women already had tight hair buns and their uniform was squirted. The very first day, they check in PT gear. So somewhere green on green shirt tucked in, ready to PT. And that's the first thing we did was we did height and weight before we took the class, before we taught them the class. And then the very next morning was a PFT. So by the end of the PFT, you could tell which ones were solid Marines and which ones must have been more solid in their profession, right? Because they were not in green on green. They had green shorts and maybe a civilian t-shirt, not tucked in. They needed a haircut or a shave. So right away, it was two different types of Marines. And then throughout the class, the questions they asked was completely different. That was for all three, the sergeants, staff sergeants, and gunnery sergeants. So I got to believe that those ones that were squared away don't feel abandoned from their family or not part of the family, because they're more Marine than they are their civilian job. And they were, again, anywhere from bankers and cops and lawyers and painters. They had every job on the planet. So I don't think in every position, right? One of the gunnies was a police chief. Even met it's a different situation, a lieutenant colonel and a major, both reservists. And the lieutenant colonel was a battalion commander. The major was his XO. But in the police community where they both worked, the major was the police chief and the lieutenant colonel was the deputy police. So it was pretty funny how that worked out for them. But again, I think the reservists not feeling part of the family might be a little bit up to that reservist, right? Do more, do some active duty time, be a little more Marine. I missed it. USMC Cece said something. I missed it. But that says my reservist career course was only 2 weeks in 2008. So they still do it like that. So again, in 6 weeks, we taught 3 courses. We had the sergeants for 2 weeks, staff sergeant for 2 weeks, and the gunnies for 2 weeks. Say it again, USMC Cece, I missed it, but old Jaireen says, very interesting standpoint. Can't say I disagree, but don't know if I agree. Interesting. Please put it back up there so we can talk about it. Because it's got to be tough, and it was tough for her to go from active duty to reservist for that same URAH factor. I think going from reservist to active duty would be like a URAH type experience. A lot of times she can tell you this, active duty to reservist, they kind of want to go back to active duty. I think it can depend on your reserve station, your leadership. A reserve unit that I do know is 123 out of Texas, and I know they're pretty right? They're a motivating group of Marines who I loved being around. And there were some birds in there, mixed in there, some outer reg mustaches and uniform type stuff, but I think they're pretty motivated. They have a good, solid unit, good leadership. All right, here we go. USMCC. I think you should only be eligible to be a reservist after you've done active duty time. Very interesting. I'm with the old Gyrene. That's interesting. I do agree, only because I watched her do it and see the type of reservist Marine she is. She's one of them eras. And reservists probably like, what's her problem? Well, she's motivated because she spent time on active duty. So I think that, I like that. I like that. You get a lot of pushback, and that'll take some years to do, or not. Let's do it. Call the vice president. I wonder how he'd feel about it. What about the Janet airline? What airline is that?
You don't know.
Fourth Recon, are they in Texas? I don't know. Doc knows. I don't get it.
You're not supposed to. You're
More.
not a war veteran.
More from USMCC. From what I've seen in her unit, you can almost immediately tell what Marines have prior active duty time based on their experience and what knowledge they bring. Again, it's right there is experience from active duty to reservists. So that's an interesting take on it. And they have what part of your leadership is active duty, right? Trying to train reservists, what the mission is. Interesting. Cook, I think I agree with USMCCC. You won't become a true Marine if you just go home after training and don't live the life, right? Nothing like the experience of living in the barracks for a while and then finally getting off base and the struggles of all that. Are you still a Marine? Once a Marine, always a Marine. The reservist all the way through. I got it, but I do believe it is a different experience, active duty to full time. Again, living in the barracks as a private and PFC and growing up duty, NCO, A duty, still standard if you live off base, but constant every day, all day, a little bit different. San Antonio, Texas is the 4th Recon. All right. Young Marine later asked Sergeant Major, how come the Marine Corps only has a reserve but not a National Guard? Good question. I think that's size-wise in our mission. I'm kind of even surprised that we have a reserve, Marine Corps Reserve, actually. To be honest, our mission is different. The Marine Corps is the smallest, and we talked about the size last time. I think we're about 170,000. Wartime will get up to 200,000 plus. Peacetime will go back down, but I think it's because of our mission. First to fight, first in, and the first out. We're not first in, last out. We're not always the last out, but we are the first in. Highly mobile, lethal fighting machine. And the National Guard stays in their area and kind of just works for their local area. They handle stuff in America, which I think the National Guard is highly important. But I think it's just a mission thing. It's not, our mission is to go to the enemy. And maybe it's because we don't think the enemy will come here. But I think it's a size thing. We don't need to, we'd have to build the Marine Corps up to a whole lot more. And as we all know, the Marines don't have that kind of money, right? The Army is about 500,000. Don't quote me on any numbers, but it's a mission thing. And I agree with it. I don't think we need a National Guard, a Marine National Guard, because of the mission. We don't need a Marine National Guardsman from Nebraska doing amphibious assaults. Amen. That's the Marines are amphibious, right? We are amphibious. You get on ships, and that's part of our mission. So there you have it. Again, it's just a mission difference, is why. People question who built the pyramids in Egypt, but no one seems to question the ones in Mexico City. Pyramids in Mexico City? I didn't even know that. Marines doing civil defense. Mission set for sure. All right. There you go. Can you put that one back up? Hit the like channel. Why did it disappear? Why did it disappear?
I'm trying to slow it down.
Oh, he's trying to slow it down. Hit that like button. Where are we at on numbers wise? Again, StreamYard. Sunday, different platform, a little bit. Side view with the camera. I know that's, again, until we started doing this, I didn't care. I didn't know the difference, which way you hold it, vertical or horizontal. All that, those things mean something different. Videos, as you notice, are always horizontal. Shorts are always vertical, but now you can do both either way. Clearly, what do you prefer? What do you watch it on? I do absolutely everything on my phone. So that's the only thing I judge it off of, and it's different. It doesn't need to be different, but it is, depending on your platform. And you can kind of tell, I think, now doing this for a little while, who's typing on their phone comments and who's got a keyboard, and they just jam at it, right? That's a quick way for me to tell what you're watching on, but not so much anymore. People are really fast with their thumbs, so you never know. Marines on riot duty. Now that would be entertaining. So all that being said, can you imagine when they called the National Guard to go handle a little dispute like that, and they were Marines? Might get a different result, but we're saving Marines for the big stuff. What about civilians becoming civilian USMC military police family? What about civilians becoming civilian USMC military police? So USMC vet, great topic actually, because when did that happen? Now they're not military police. Well, they're not Marine military police. Happened while we were in Okinawa. I'm sorry, in Hawaii. When they still, Okinawa too, they have Japanese police. When the wars were starting, was that 2005, 6? When did they start changing? Anyhow, there's civilians working at gates now. I'm assuming all over, all the bases, all the military bases. When it first happened in Hawaii, when we were there, they were hiring people to become civilian MPs, if you will, at the gates and on patrols and everything. And it was for your Marine to fight, right? So more Marines to the fight kind of idea. I didn't have a problem with it at all. That was when I was with the infantry battalion. And yes, you're not pulling my Marines to augment the MPs. You're not taking one of my trigger pullers. You're not taking an 03. So I was on board 100%. I thought it was a great idea. And it opened up more jobs for the community. A lot of them were prior military. And on Marine Corps Base Hawaii, they were prior service Marines. So it kind of worked out. Those you can kind of tell. But a straight civilian, now a military police on a Marine base. There was starting to be a little bit of problems. And here's the first one encounter I had that did make me think twice. Wow, is this really a good idea? So I used to surf in the mornings before I got to work in Hawaii. Not a big deal. It's perfect weather. We weren't deployed, so I had time to do it. So I'd surf in the morning, travel across the island, and show up on base in enough time to shower and change over and be ready for work. Dawn patrol, right? Early morning surf sesh. Awesome. Loved it. And I came right from the water to base. So this one time I was coming through, boards in the back, still had my board shorts on, still probably wet because it just came out of the water, put my board up, strapped it down, and took off, went to work. And I didn't have a shirt on. And this civilian MP stops me. And I had the Sergeant Major sticker. Usually they just wave you through. And he stopped and asked to see my ID. I had to dig it out because it didn't happen back then as much as it does now. Got my ID. He said, all right, thanks, Sergeant Major. Just need you to put a shirt on before you come on base. I said, what? He said, I can't let you on base without a shirt on. You can't come on base without a shirt. I was like, wow. I said, that's, I'm not calling you a liar. I'm sure that is a rule somewhere. Somebody probably wrote it at some point in their life. But really, bro, it just came from the ocean. I might have had a little bit of an attitude. It caught me so off guard. And I thought, man, this is a civilian guy who read the manual and the SOPs and every rule and probably got quizzed on it. He probably had to take a test on all the rules. That's one of them I think I might have told him. This is one of those common sense rules that you just let go. But being a professional that I am and tactful, I had to find a shirt. First of all, I didn't even know where to dig in my bag. In the bag, I had to get out, bag in my backpack, and put a shirt on. But then that's when I rolled through the gate, I kind of questioned, is that really smart to have civilians guarding a Marine base with Marines with ego coming through all day and every day? Not wanting to get written up, of course, I put a shirt on, which also brings me to another story where the producer almost got arrested. Same thing. Going on base. Were we retired already?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So we're doing the pontoon boats in Hawaii. Awesome. You take a, I don't know, hour class and you take a test and you get your pontoon boat license. So of course I had my license, even Ellie, a couple of the kids had their license. And we're going to do pontoon boats that day and go out to the sandbar in Hawaii. It's awesome. If you've never done it, rent a pontoon boat for the half a day, go out to the sandbar, throw out the anchor, you get out of the boat, and it's like knee high water. Depends on where the tide is, but it's awesome. It's really, really fun. And we were going in 2 or 3 different cars because we're meeting out there. We might even been getting 2 boats that day or something.
We had 1 boat, 3 cars.
We all, yeah.
It was a birthday for Annie.
It was Annie's birthday, Annie Benetti's birthday. Again, a couple different vehicles.
Had some friends. So you guys had the friends.
Either way, we had 3 different vehicles, right?
It was me, Ellie, and John in the last vehicle.
Yeah, and they used Annie's ID card for that crew, didn't they? Anyhow.
Ellie was with me, and we both had.
Oh, you both did. So, coming on base, producer not following rules and regulations.
What?
We're getting ready to go to the sandbar. You're in Hawaii, 80-degree, perfect weather. They already had their swimsuits on. And they got stopped. Civilian police? Doesn't remember. Either way, it was, civilian guy stopped him and said, you're dressed inappropriately. That's unauthorized civilian attire to come on base. And the common sense approach, she said, well, I'm going to the sandbar. I'm going to the beach. I'm getting on a boat. I'm going to go swimming. That's why I'm wearing swim attire. And he wouldn't let her on. Then you called me.
And I'm very modest.
Very modest. Come on. She had the teeny tiny 2-piece, barely, very modest. It could go shopping in it. It's like a sundress type swimsuit. Come on, really? But he wouldn't let her on. She called me. I had to go get you or something. I don't even remember what we did. It was just, again, so ridiculous that, the guy, it was in his rules and regulations on the SOP that this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. There's no gray area with people like that. Leadership. Right? He could have said, yeah, no, I get it, I understand. Here's the rule. Please, next time, have a cover up on. Have a T-shirt on. Something like that. Go through it. Like our whole mission got halted. I had to come to the gate, didn't I?
Longer story. It was 3 vehicles. Ellie was wearing a tank top. Had to get the pass. Had to go inside the pass.
Yeah.
So longer story. I went to help Ellie, and then they me too.
Yeah. So I didn't get the full story right. Or the part where she cursed him out and threatened him she's going to be pretty tough. Interesting, though. Again, back to the question was civilian MPs. I don't think it's a bad thing because, again, it puts more trigger pullers downrange where they're more needed instead of, again, stopping people with tank tops and no shirts on coming on base. So that 100% can be a civilian position. They shouldn't be called Marine MPs, contractors, whatever you want to call it. They don't wear the camis. They have their own little khaki and black polo and vests and stuff. They look pretty cool. And I think it's a great job, a great opportunity for someone like a stepping stone to become an actual police officer or military or something. So I think I have no problem with it. except for that, again, a little common sense. And maybe those guys, once they did start to learn the vibe, right, the aura, the era of working at a Marine base, maybe they got better at it, right? Just adding a little common sense. Sometimes people have a hard time thinking outside the box. A lot of times people have a hard time thinking outside the box. That's when they plan in a box. Seeing that currently right now, that's happening way too much. That could have been hey, just give me 1 minute, ma'am. Radio, I got a woman here and wearing a sundress. It says it's not allowed, but what do you think? Quite certain a good Marine, a good leader on that side. Is it indecent exposure? Is it anything crazy? No, of course, let her through. If you're going to commissary, you're going shopping, sure. Going to the beach, to the ocean, in the water, swimming. So next time she came on, she wore a prom dress. I said, how's this, buddy? Will you let me on base now?
Parka.
Right, parka, hoodie, all kinds of stuff. So again, great question, great idea, and I'm all about change, but you can't leave out the common sense factor, right? The common sense way to lead that gets thrown out the window. Oh, Jyrene, lay cookie, producer breaking the rules. Can't even picture that. I never told you about the time she just ran through the gate in Okinawa. She wasn't having it. The JPs there were. He had no front license plate. She was breaking the rules. She had no front license plate. The guard tried to stop her and tell her, you need a front license plate on your vehicle. I mean, she probably gave him he's number one sign on her way through. Yes. Busted. Old Jyrene got his butt chewed for wearing a tank top on the weekend on base. At least he was an NCO who is appropriately correcting me. Facts. Right, that's legit, old Jyrene. You know better than that. Again, that's when you have a t-shirt on over it and take it off when you get to the beach. Carrie Ann Marie Potts should make SFMF calendars. All right, producer, that's another merch idea. Let's do it. Calendars. Everyone gets a month. Producer needs to go on camera to confirm the story. I'm with you, Doc. Let's go.
Okay, I'll stay off camera.
Great merch idea, Carrie Ann Maria. I like that. Calendar. We do need to, again, I need to talk about the merch more. I'm failing in my duties. Don't forget, we still got the stickers, hoodies, green books, green monsters, lanyards. Just talking about the lanyards. The veteran made, American product lanyards. Still got mine. Again, I think y'all can tell I kind of move around and fiddle and play with stuff a lot. That lanyard's still going strong. That was a couple years old now. One more question, then we're going to start landing this helicopter. We need some feedback. Maybe she'll put a post on a questionnaire on the post. The what? Yeah, the post. Mary, get on the. If you have a hard time seeing the community posts, I do. But go on the description of the channel, hit the description so it opens up more, and you'll see community posts, videos, live. Post is what a community post is now called. All right, Young Marine Franklin S. Were you ever in embassy guard? Oh, good. Yes. Thank you for bringing that one back up. Embassy duty. I never did. That is a regret I definitely do have about the Marine Corps. And just timing wise, it never worked out. I never applied for it. I never tried for it. I never went to school for it. Again, timing, deployments, schools, other schools, dependents, right? I never qualified when I had an opportunity to do it. And I was due to dependents. When I was a corporal, I already had 2 dependents. As a corporal, you can only have 1. For instance, when I was a sergeant, I had 3 dependents by now, but as a sergeant, you could have 2. So that always put a blocker on it. But I definitely did want to do embassy duty. Never heard a negative story about it. Now, I've heard stories where Marines got in trouble on embassy duty, but not that this, even the hardship duty stations, I think probably sucked for those 18 months, but never a bad story. Like I wish I would have never gone to it. I'm sure there's some. I just personally no one has ever talked bad about embassy duty. Even though I as fidgety as I am, standing at a 10-hour guard post sounds pretty boring, but I would like to be in a foreign country. I would like to see that how that works like that. Again, hardship duty, and then most of the time, I think pretty much always you get a bad duty station, not a bad one, a hardship duty station, and then a great one, France, Italy, Spain. So I think they try to hold you to that. So no, I never did. Never been on Marine One. I've been to 8th and I a couple of times, saw the Commandant's house, saw a parade. Never been on Air Force One, never been on Marine One. All cool things that very select Marines get the opportunity to do. Gunny East has Beast B billet, only 8 hours each post, even better. So not a 10-hour post, an 8-hour post. John, I did both. Man, look at you. Awesome. Congratulations, Gunny. You sound like you have a pretty awesome career. And then who'd you just say you took a picture with today? It was up there, but I kind of blew over it. Sound like you have a pretty robust experience, Guns. I'm happy for you. So happy for you. It's awesome. So our major producer of today's live session was excellent. Thank you, Doc. I appreciate how you're able to incorporate comments and videos on the screen. It made for an engaging and enjoyable. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate you, brother. You all know we're still trying to get 1% better every day, right? We want to play with a few different things and see what's best for all of us, for the community. Langley, Africom, Langley. Did you see the post? Oh, the post was for the thumbnail. That was members only or everybody? Members only? Oh, two different posts. So there's a post going out to the members only oh, that's right. So a post to everybody, a community post to everybody to vote on a thumbnail, but they're kind of blurred out. The members had the post of choose a thumbnail for a video. And there's about 10 or 12 votes already, I think so. Some of you saw it. So please get on there. Members, get on that one. Vote for it. Everyone, get on. Check for that community post. Again, I have a hard time finding the community post sometimes as well. But you hit the channel, like if it's one of your subscribed videos, you hit subscriptions, SFMF pops up, hit channel description, and then more things will slide across. Live, shorts, post, community. I don't even know what else is on there because I always look for the one that says post. Hit the post, then all the posts will show up all the way down. So check them all out and please like every one of them. But the recent one was a poll. So please take that poll. All right. Thanks, Randall. Old Jyrene. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Lake Cookie says, Old Jyrene, they took my ID card away from me my last 3 months. So I couldn't get out in the vial. Want to go, so jump the fence. Oh, in the Ville. Yes. It didn't stop you. It didn't stop you. Didn't I help you over the fence one time? Is YouTube considered social media? Yeah, Jake. That's the only social media I do is YouTube. Do you have to subscribe every month, or does it do it automatically? Subscription stays, Carrie Ann Marie, but your membership you have to, right? Is that a fact? Yeah, you have to renew the membership each time. Stack, you still on here? Yes, you have to renew your membership each time. Garrett asks, is there any advice for us cadets who are having trouble with our manual of arms? Yes, here's my advice. 100%, you only get better by doing it. So if you don't have a rifle that you can take home, you can get online. What's that drill company? Somebody help me out. You can purchase one of those drill rifles. It's a little lighter. It's not an actual weapon that you're going to get in the Marine Corps. You can probably change the weights or add weight to it. There's probably 1,000 different drill rifles you can purchase. I'm trying to think of the company right now, but just type in drill rifles and purchase one. It's non-fireable. It's demilitarized. It's safe. It's just for drill, and just constantly, every time you get your hands on a rifle. And if not, use a broomstick, a mop handle, anything you can practice those moves in, and then do it in front of a mirror. If you have another buddy who's having a hard time, face each other and just go drill manual or rifle manual, rifle manual, rifle manual. Do it in front of each other. Stop halfway through. Correct each other. You just got to do more of it. Watch videos on it. Now, that's the only way you're going to get better. Do air rifle, right? Like air guitar, do air rifle. Practice all the movements. But good on you for know yourself and seek self-improvement. If you need to work on it, by all means, get after it. USMC Vet says, I want to pay still, but haven't figured out how to click description, but no pay option. Stack. Producer, can you help her out? Right there, Jake. If you're cheap like me, buy a 2x4 or a heavy rod. 2x4. Yeah, buy a 2x4. Whittle it. Make your own rifle, right? Cut it out, make the shape. That way you can, again, add weight to it. A drill rifle, I think about 8 pounds or so. And look that up. See how much a M16, M4s, how much do they weigh? Drill rifles, M1s. Some units still use M1s for a drill, but they're somewhere around 8 pounds, probably 7 point something to 8 point something. Make your own. And again, in JRTC, I've seen kids use all kinds of, two broomsticks taped together. And that's all they do is spin it constantly all day long. That's the exhibition, right? But just basic drill, do it. You just got to do it. That's how you get better at anything, right? It takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at something. 10,000, that's what the books say anyway. 10,000 hours. Do you have 10,000 hours of drill? I think I probably do by now. Don't buy, find free wood. There you go. Use a 2x4. There's an old 2x4 laying around somewhere. A good log from the woods, right? Old BB gun. That's a great idea. Pellet gun, BB gun. All right. James Johnson, Semper Fi from Chicago. Sergeant Major, all tuned in. We're getting ready to wrap it up. Land this helicopter. James, we'll see you Wednesday. We're on again Wednesday. Everyone, this coming Wednesday Night Live, 1900 Central Time. So 2000 East Coast. Again, I don't do public math. It's a couple hours earlier on the West Coast. And even earlier for CC number 2, who's going to be on the show very soon. Big heavy rod to simulate walking with a musket. Good, James. We'll see you then. Wednesday, everyone. 10,000 hours count for marriage because my ex-wife will disagree. Yeah. 10,000 hours. We're coming up on 36 years. Is that what it is? Here real soon. Not bad. Feels like 36 minutes underwater. Just kidding, of course. Need to add membership link to link list. Can you do that, please, producer? Add the membership link to the list of links, right? Where the merch shop is and all those. Can it be added to that? She's looking into it right now. Great tip, Lay Cookie. Wednesday Live with special guest, the producer. You heard it right here. Doc called it. It has been a great time. Minimal trolls. I haven't seen any. The band's hammers must have been out. I haven't seen any. Semper Fi Randall. Last one from the McJunkin crew, Jake. Uncle John McJunkin just called to the restaurant and said to tell you and everyone that he apologized for misinformation again, but he has a doctor's orders. He admits he's been a sick bay commando. All good. I'm just going to need a copy of that doctor's note. If you can send that in, I'll give you an email address. It better be a real doctor and not Dr. Seuss. John, Jake, please tell John Semper Fi, brother. We're all in his corner, and sending love from SFMF. Awesome. Show. She said to show you love. I don't know how to do that. Look at that. Looks like a bad heart. I can't do that. Look at these banana claws. Can't do that. Darren just got an AR-15. Oh, just get an AR-15. Feel it unloaded, no ammo in the area to practice drill. You got a couple rifles you can use. Only one ban tonight. That's awesome. Thanks for banning them, whoever did. Good night to everyone. Good night to all of you. Yes. Awesome show. Sunday, God bless you all. Spend some time with Jesus. Be thankful. Believe. Shout out to Ray. Where was Ray? Dr. Gimpy. They got their, I just replied to both of them earlier today. Menachem, Jared, Salty, Michael's Drones. I hadn't seen him tonight. And I'm sure I forgot others. I don't have the best memory in the world, but it was great. Once again, great hanging out with all of you. Let's continue to grow this channel, right? We're here for one purpose, and that's to serve each other, learn something new every single time, and always some straight motivation. God bless you all. Be safe, but be aggressive. Semper Fi, my friends, all of you. You can shut it